Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Moviecast episode 664. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gass, joined by Mike Sneedy,
What's up?
Corey Feinsod,
Hello.
and Tony Korkanakis.
Yo, yo, yo.
Welcome. What's up, guys? Mike, your video is a little bit off again, but it is what it is. We're moving on.
You are
Understand what
frozen.
the problem is.
Anyways, welcome, listeners and viewers, to 664 of the Moviecast. We are live on Twitch Tuesday night, so please join us. For 3 or 4 of us have video, so you can see us all chat and
I can see Mike. He's just not moving.
Yeah, I don't have anything. He's just spinning for me. But so hopefully you guys. I'm gonna join the feed here. Actually, on the feed, he's just frozen. So if you guys see him, at least you have a picture. So welcome to the movie.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
You do look like you're sleeping though.
Well, that's not that far off.
So yeah. So how's it?
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Yeah, happy
Mike.
birthday.
Thanks. Yeah, you
Nice
get sleepy
podcast.
when you move into the late 30s.
Oh. Try your 40s, man. Your body just decides to leave you. It breaks down. It's like I'm gonna go on.
Decides
Yeah.
to leave you.
Yep. It's just like your body's like, you know what? You want to do this today? You're not doing it. Nope. Nope. Now you're gonna be screwed up for the rest of like the next 6 months. So, yeah. Fun stuff. But yeah, so anyways, guys, welcome. Again, we are live on Twitch Tuesday night starting 8 o'clock, so join us for this awesome chat. If you missed the live broadcast, we are always on YouTube the following day, so be sure to subscribe to both channels to get the latest and greatest, so you know what's going on. So yeah, all right. What have we been doing, guys? I have been unfortunately very busy with work, so not with that stuff, unfortunately, with fun movie stuff. But I have watched Ahsoka, and I have to say, I don't know if you guys talked about it last week, but man, wow, wow. It's funny because my physical therapist, as we talked about old bodies, my shoulder's broken down, so I'm seeing a physical therapist, and I was chatting with him. He's a big Star Wars fan, and we were talking about the Ahsoka show and how, like, I'm so excited for the episode tonight, but like, I'm like, are they going to disappoint me with this episode? Like, am I gonna get let down? And I'm like, am I overhyping this in my head right now? Because for me, the last episode was one of the best episodes of any Star Wars show I've ever seen.
Really?
Oh wow.
I loved it.
Really?
Yeah, I loved it. You didn't like it?
I mean, I wouldn't say. I thought it was okay.
It was
I wouldn't
okay.
say-
Oh, I absolutely
Yeah,
loved it. I absolutely loved it. It felt like it. You know what it is? I mean, Tony, of course you know. It felt like old Star Wars. I mean, that's what it did. It felt like old Star Wars, and there's nothing. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. So like, it's okay to like old Star Wars, folks. This is what I've learned.
Old
And
Star
it's also-
Wars. And what is old Star Wars?
Yeah, I don't
gotta,
like-
Like, it felt like it felt impactful, like Empire, the lightsaber fight with Luke and Vader in Empire Strikes Back, the power swings, the duel. I mean, that was like, it just felt like that battle, and it just was so great to have that imposing, like, dark side figure.
Here's my hot take. It
yeah.
did nothing for me. In fact, I was offended that Ahsoka struggled with that dude. I was like, who is this fucking guy? He's nobody.
Well, that's it. We don't have that established, but I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
But he's
I
a
thought
nobody.
He's been doing a fantastic job.
He's a
But he's been
nobody.
doing a great job.
He's a
Yeah,
nobody.
He might be. We don't know that. We don't have any story for him. You don't know
Okay,
what he
sure.
is yet.
So he's a nobody.
He's a named character with a dark Jedi who learned from Vader. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah?
it's
Yeah?
been
Oh, God.
established. It's been established that the Inquisitors are quite skilled. Has it not? In
Right,
Filoni's
but
shows.
Ahsoka is supposed to be on par with Darth Vader at this point, right?
Sure. And she wasn't quite struggling. She was going to win that battle. So she was going to win that battle until the whole.
You think so?
Other
That's
issue.
how I
Yeah.
I didn't
I had
interpret
it-
that way. I didn't.
No, I
interpret
did.
That way.
I
You
did.
did? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to
So
rewatch it again. I was kind of glossing.
I
over
did
it.
not
Yeah.
interpret it that way at all, but I interpreted
I did-
it that she was going to win that.
I thought it was a good episode. I didn't think.
I
Because
loved
you
it.
were hyping it up. 'Cause
Oh, I loved
think
it.
you
I
watched
freaking
before,
loved it. Yeah.
And so, but that's,
I can't believe you guys
it's
didn't have
okay.
it. No, I mean, listen, we all have different opinions, and I absolutely, and plus, like,
It's not. I don't think it was bad. Like I don't think
Yeah,
it
it's
was
not bad. I'm not saying it's bad.
I
But
loved it.
No.
for me, for Star Wars to be exceptional at this point, they have to do something drastically different, and they're not doing that.
And I think I talked like last week. I mentioned this too. It's like the problem for me now is with Ahsoka is they have to do so much more to make her character better because all I'm thinking about is her character in that book that we got,
Let it go, man.
and that
Let
was
the book
so
go.
bad.
Let it go.
But now it's just like I don't see the character from Clone Wars that I want to see like here. To me,
Yeah.
I feel like this character is not progressing the way I wanted her to
Yeah.
progress. But
No, I mean,
that's just me.
I liked the way they brought her character with Rebels and how she's continuing that. I'm ignoring the fact that the book exists, and I've done a good job with that. And I felt like I've liked every single thing they've done in this show. I love this show. I'm not like I said. I feel like, believe it or not, which is funny, Andor, which is a prequel, did things better in terms of like progressing Star Wars. And I understand Tony's point to that point. We've talked about that, and I understand you guys with that. But I do think there's a space for what brought Star Wars fans the original. Like, I love my Luke Skywalker Jedi stuff, and this for me hits those tones. And there's nothing that's a good thing for me. But I understand like there's people that do like they want to push it to something new. And this is, you're right. It's not maybe not doing that. And that's why I started by saying there's two types of Star Wars pretty much. There's the like Andor, which is crazy to talk about being a prequel. Andor was great with what it did. This is awesome for what it's doing for people like fanboys, essentially fanboys. But the problem is like it's funny is the fanboys I think don't appreciate it enough. They don't get their blinders off to understand that the show's giving them what they want. And I don't know. I really liked what they've done with this. So
I
have.
that's great, and like I really like the first episode of the series. It hasn't gotten better though.
I just loved. I thought the last episode was great. I'm looking forward to this one.
And I mentioned this last week too. I am upset that we're gonna get Heir to the Empire in this chopped up, messed up form. That
yeah. I mean, basically,
and we know what's gonna happen. Like, it's not gonna come to anything.
No, but Corey, you like again back to the Ahsoka book. You just gotta let the books go and just.
Well, the Ahsoka book is canon. What are you talking about?
I'm just saying you've got to let them. Just don't even think about them. Just gotta let them go. Unfortunately, the Zahn books are fantastic, but
the thing is, it's not even just that. It's the fact that we have to rewatch the same trope, like with Ahsoka and Sabine. I'm just like the training montage, like hurt me. It hurt me to watch that. I was just like.
Yeah, I mean,
really,
like, I'm not saying old, and that wasn't really that for me was probably the lowest point of the show. And I'm not saying it's bad, by the way. I'm just saying that for me, that's probably the worst of the show right there. But I felt like I do. You know what it is? It's like I like the villains. I know you say you don't know anything about them. They're scrubs, but like
they're scrubs. They're absolutely scrubs.
But they're not. They're powerful, and that's what I'm trying to say. Like they seem like they're.
This feels like an anime filler arc, dude. This feels like in Dragon Ball Z when like there's a couple episodes in between big arcs and they introduce a villain that hasn't been in the manga. It's like, oh, this guy, he's taking on Super Saiyan Vegeta. Wow, he's powerful, guys. And it's just like, who the fuck is this dude? He's like from fucking 3-episode villain.
The saddest part with this is like I love the character that he's got that we could learn more about, and we're not going to because unfortunately he has passed away. But his apprentice, I think she's an interesting character. She seems, I just feel like
what's interesting about her?
I don't know. It's very dark and mysterious.
You don't know?
And I like the mystery. That's it. I don't know.
Aren't all Sith that way? Aren't they all dark and mysterious?
Yes.
They're not Sith. They're Dark Jedi.
Same fucking thing.
I want to know more about them.
Same fucking thing. They're bad people. There you go. That's all you need to know.
I want to know more about them.
What do you want to know? Where they're from? Like what their favorite food is? What their favorite color is?
What their origins were? Where they got them into how they fallen Jedi? How he fell?
Why does it matter?
Because that's what I'm getting from the show. Like he's a main character of the show.
Oh, okay. I thought we were watching Ahsoka. I'm sorry.
We are, but I want to know about the villain. The villain makes. I've said this for years. I tell you, the villain make the movie. I've said this for years.
Yeah, what are they making right now? Nothing.
But this is consistent for me. I'm telling you, like that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like I like the promise of what these villains have.
I just think these are cookie cutter, dark Jedi, Sith, etc. Like fucking pick any goddamn book or any comic, whatever of Star Wars. Same thing. Fucking cookie cutter bullshit.
I mean, you could make that same argument about go back to Dragon Ball. Like every villain.
That's my point. That is my point.
But it's not a filler. You call it like a filler. Like you could just call that to.
Yeah, I'm talking about when there's like a couple episodes in between arcs and they just introduce some random bullshit or like the movies. Look at the anime movies. They're like, oh, it's Cooler's brother or something like that, and it's like, oh my god, how the Z Warrior is gonna fight him? It's like he doesn't fucking matter.
But he does. They're part of the show. They do matter.
Okay, so.
Like,
How is this going to tie in to the storyline?
I don't know. I don't write it. I don't know. Let's find out.
Okay, well, Jimmy, you're wild as just take a guess. Like, how is this going to relate to the First Order or something like that, right? Because we know they don't succeed, right?
Yeah, I mean that's it. We know that. So this is how the remnants spawn
the journey.
Off of that.
That's the thing for here. You gotta try to appreciate the journey.
Every Star Wars thing is about the journey.
Here,
I'm tired of it.
At least here, Tony, though, you have a wide range of years before we hit Force Awakens. I mean, you're going pretty far.
You can say any. You can say that again. We go back to any prequel. It's what's the point of watching this? You know where they end up. It's the journey that gets you there. Like any prequel in the world, anything. It doesn't matter. You can always make that statement about a prequel. And you're right. That's why they're. That's
why I'm upset with Star Wars, because it's literally like the years between the Clone Wars and Return of the Jedi, or Force Awakens now. Like they cannot get out of this fucking 50-year or 60-year span. I don't understand it.
I mean, at least they're not giving us like all like the same characters again. We're getting new stuff, which is great.
These are all old characters, though.
No, Ahsoka's old.
Sabine,
we're
Chopper.
Yeah, but they're bringing us as characters.
Let's move on, guys. Like we're just bringing up old arguments. It's 15 minutes of the same stuff.
Yeah. Anyways, I like the show.
No, I'm glad you like the show.
I'm excited for the episode tonight. Let's hope they don't let me down.
I will say really quick, the thing that offended me the most is the over reliance on nostalgia with the last. The stinger for the last bit before the credits. I was like, you fuckers, like you guys cannot do stuff without jerking the nostalgia stuff. Like they cannot. They absolutely cannot. Right. And it bugs me.
I just want to see what they're going to do with that. And I'm probably the least excited for that part of it, but because I do agree with you on that aspect. We've talked about that. I do agree. But ultimately, I watched that, but then I also on the Star Trek side, I have to say, man, Paramount, that network, if you're like Paramount Plus they've got nothing, but if you are a Star Trek fan, it is like feast. And I think we've talked about this before. Like their Star Trek shows have been great, and Strange New Worlds it's probably the best one I've seen on there. It's so good. So I finally, because I finished Picard and I started that, and I'm like, I've heard such good things, and my God, it's great. I'm just really enjoying that. So that's
all about.
What's that? It's Captain Pike. Pike.
Okay.
But like he kind of knows his fate, and he's got to deal with that. And it's like because he got spoiled with him, and then like this, it kind of ties in with Discovery, the show they had. Mm-hmm. He found out that he's like, oh my God, I'm gonna die this way. Holy crap! So all he keeps seeing is how he's going to die, and he's like, oh my God, what do I do? But he knows if he doesn't, other people die. So it's like he knows this is coming, and it's just like, what does he do? It's a completely different aspect of Star Trek, because like that character is fated to die every time, to become like whatever he is, like in that thing, barely alive. So I don't know, it's cool, and they bring in Kirk. Kirk's brother, I think right now is actually what just came in, so it's kind of cool. But I don't know, I like that. All right, that's it for me. Tony, what have you been watching?
Just Ahsoka and Jujutsu Kaisen. Catch up with that.
Oh, good. Yes. How is that? How's that been?
Good. Very good. Yeah. It's only been one episode since I caught up last week, so it's entering.
I haven't seen it
pretty
since...
big arc. So
yeah, what are they on? What season is 2 or 3?
2.
Okay, because I watched season 1, so I'll watch that. So that's cool. All right, that's cool. Corey, let's get to my case.
Not too much. Just was away a little bit this week, so didn't get a chance to watch much this week. So
okay,
nothing new.
All right, Mike.
I have not watched anything.
Oh, Mike, come on, put some stuff on.
I don't know. I don't even know if I should be on these movie casts anymore, to be honest. I haven't watched anything in like a month.
Okay. No, you've been playing a lot of games though too, so we'll get to that in the Gamecast, which I can't say I've been able to do with my work and activities. So, but cool. All right, let's talk quickly. Box office. What was that like last week? I tell you, I canceled my my A-list finally, so that's out. Oh, I did just just for the fun of it, I did just rewatch Barbie just before this episode started. So. Great, because I just launched today. It's available digitally. The movie's so good. The Kenergy.
Knuff and Kennedy.
Yeah. Kenergy. I want a Street Fighter Ken shirt that is Kenough or Kenergy on it. I think Kenergy makes the most sense with Ken from Street Fighter. So I definitely want like that. But yeah, it was great. Great movie. All right, so box office this week was The Nun opened. So you got The Nun at number 1, Equalizer.
Equalizer is doing surprisingly well from like last. I was
shocked. Wow. Yeah, it is. Okay. That is doing really well.
Like Denzel.
Yeah. Equalizer 3. He hasn't been in much recently, so yeah, it's his return.
Yeah,
Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Comeback. Yeah.
Big Fat Greek Wedding 3. Is it Juwan and Barbie, which I just mentioned, is number 5 still. Total gross $620 million. Jesus, that's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. That's domestic, obviously, folks. Domestic. Yeah, incredible. But yeah, that's impressive for Equalizer 3. So, cool. That's your box office. Not much going on. Kind of a middle zone. So we'll see. All right, let's get into some news, though, guys. We got some news. What do we got going on here? We've got. Let's see. Let's start with Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes. We've talked about them. We talk about them a lot. Reviews, fresh. Is it rotten? Well, apparently it was released that a new report says a PR firm has been paying Rotten Tomatoes critics for positive reviews for over 5 years. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's not surprising, to be honest.
I mean, it's not.
I just thought it was funny. It's like, okay.
No, I linked it because I'm like, we all assumed it, but it's crazy to just have that reported, and like it does throw the Rotten Tomatoes whole system out of whack. And it was not that it wasn't kind of losing its steam already, but it was like it really does put that out of whack. Like if you don't pay, you get crapped on essentially. And they're not paying them much. Like, so it was like $50 a review. Like people are throwing out their journalism integrity for $50, but whatever.
$50 is $50, man.
Yeah, I know. But so they've done it. They've been doing it for 5 years to boost the reviews scores on Rotten Tomatoes. So movie studios are paying in the marketing budget. I paid marketing budget, right? Yeah. So I don't know. Anyways, all right. What else we got here? We've got Universal. Universal is developing a live-action Zelda movie, guys. This has been reported. It's not officially confirmed yet. It's rumored. How do we feel?
Yeah.
Well, I just had some experience with a Zelda story in a game for the first time all the way through, and I don't see how it works live action, honestly, but we'll see.
I have to say, like, the old me, when I was young, the old me, by the old me I mean younger me.
Yeah.
The young me would be ecstatic and excited for this. The new me, the older me that's wiser, knows that an animated version of this can be so much more. Like they can do so much more with an animated movie.
Well, like it doesn't mean that they won't do that also at some point.
You're right, but I feel like that should be the first we get. If they're gonna give us, a Zelda movie, it should be animated. I'm sorry, I really think it should be. You can just give us so much more with that.
So if this versus Illumination doing it, what would you prefer?
No, I'd be fine with Illumination doing it.
Really?
I think that they've done fine with Mario, and
it's a totally different vibe.
Yeah, but you got to give them a shot. I didn't think they could pull off Mario. You got to give them a chance to do that. You know what I mean? Like, prove me wrong. Prove that they can't do it. How about that? Prove that they can't do it, because they've earned the benefit of the doubt at this point with how good Mario was and how well it did. They've earned that, and I feel like if you're gonna do this. Obviously, we talked about Donkey Kong is probably what they're working on next then, if that's what the case is. But I still feel like that's a missed step because it's like, I think live action is just, I don't think it plays well. I'm afraid of it being shit. That's it. I'll say it right now. I'm afraid of it being shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's more likely that's going to be the case than not. But if it is Nintendo's putting their stamp on it, you have to assume there's going to be some quality control there to make sure that
it all ties in, right? Because Universal is where Nintendo chose to do the partnership for the Mario or the Nintendo World, right?
Yes.
And that ties in with Illumination too. So this kind of makes sense, but it's one of those things where especially coming after the success of the Mario movie, Nintendo needs to have that tight quality control that they want for their brand and their image. So it's not going to be like what I assume older video game adaptations where it's like, oh yeah, just do whatever, Resident Evil, sure, Assassin's Creed movie, whatever, you know, stuff like that. And it's kind of just garbage, right? Because I mean, we saw how much Miyamoto himself was involved with the Mario movie, right?
Yeah.
I would dare say he was actually more involved with the Mario movie than he probably was with the most recent Mario game, which is coming out, Mario 1.
More than likely, yeah.
Right? So, you know, that gives me faith that it's not going to be a total disaster. You know, that's obviously hopes and dreams. But live action, I mean, I don't really know. That does scare me.
Yeah, I mean,
we said it before. Studio Ghibli would be the easiest low-hanging fruit there, just to do that Miyazaki style, just beautiful art, animation, music, and stuff like that. But you know, not to say that they couldn't do live action, but picture it in my head, I'm just like, oh god, like God bless whoever they choose as Link, right? However they choose as Link, whether it be Chris Pratt or Tom Holland, either of them, you know, because they're the only two white guys, you know, in Hollywood.
Yep. It'll be they'll just tag in and out. Each other scene will be Chris Pratt, then the other scene will be Tom Holland.
Well, Tom Holland could be young Link, and Chris Pratt could be old Link.
There it is, and there we have it.
God.
Best of both worlds.
It'll be Elijah Wood. That would be funny.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, I don't even know.
It'll all be about family because that's what Universal's only successful property right now is.
Positives. I guess on the positive side, for those wondering, like if you're worried about this, it is just being created, so Nintendo still has final say, and they could just be like, "This looks like crap. We're not doing this."
Yeah, I don't know. Like the whole premise, even in like a sort of different story that I just like played in Tears of the Kingdom, it's still the premise of Zelda is just super generic. Like I don't know how you change it up without it going away from what it is.
But the standard story, like the thing is they haven't told it in a movie yet.
It's like you simple, so it's easy to you can do whatever you want with it. Save the princess, save the world.
Get the Triforce, defeat the
Somehow I don't
demon.
think that's gonna work anymore.
Why?
You're not supposed to save princesses anymore. Can't do that.
But she's self, like, I mean, obviously she can do, like, she does a lot in Tears of the Kingdom. Like she's not not helpless anymore.
That was the whole story of it.
But it's still he's still trying to save her. Like that's still the overarching story. Like you can still have
I don't know. It's
not disrespectful to need that, and like it you know, like she's more than capable of doing stuff too. Yeah.
So
in fact, she's a major catalyst as to how you can be successful in that game. So yeah. Anyways, so I just feel like we'll see what they're going to do with that. But all right.
We're a ways off still, so
we are. It's way early.
It's a rumor to begin with, just to reiterate. It's a rumor, but it's
no one will ever work in Hollywood again anyway, so it doesn't matter.
What?
Yeah. What?
No one will ever work in Hollywood ever.
On strike.
It doesn't matter.
He's right. Who knows? That's got to end soon.
Push is going to come to shove real soon. Couple months.
It's building. It's building. All right, so we've got other news is, let's see, Warner Brothers Discovery CEO says more bundles are coming. David Zaslav, says expect more content bundling in the near future. Not just talking about, like, obviously they're looking at it, but I guess he's heard a lot of other companies are looking at this as well. So, again, I've had this conversation with multiple people recently, not even on this podcast, about how there's too many streaming options and there's not enough. Like, you don't have enough time. There's, like, stuff that goes through the cracks that probably are great shows, but you just don't see them because there's just Apple Plus. Like, who's doing that? Apple TV Plus. You know, who's doing Paramount Plus? You know, like, there's just too many options out there to get a mass amount of people on board. So by this idea of streaming bundling, like, basically, like, merging it.
You have cable.
No, not cable. Cable doesn't have the content that cable does not have the content that these streaming places have. Like I hate that answer. By the way,
but it used to.
Let's break this down. Let's break this down. They do not have the same content.
This is becoming the new cable. So
you're not even close. You're not even close.
Why?
Like the budgets that these things have.
That was all you needed back then.
But they're like you get most of the time movie quality.
What's even the biggest cable show right now?
I said back then. This is the new cable.
No, I know. I'm talking about right now.
I don't know.
What's the biggest thing on cable right now?
I don't think anything on cable can match like Stranger Things, stuff like that. That like.
Is it more about just the fact that now you're starting to have to pay for things that you don't care about? I mean, that's where, like, that's the whole thing I was so happy about with streaming is like, hey, I can have this service and not worry about this other service. And now they're starting to bundle all these services together again. It's like we're going backwards.
Just like right now, I mean, freaking Hulu, Disney Plus, they're raising the prices again. And I don't know if you guys talked about that last week, but it's like, it's insane. I just signed up for live TV with Hulu, got ESPN Plus, I got Disney Plus, regular Hulu, like the show
commercials with it too now. I mean, that's the other thing. It's like everything's got commercials again.
And then I can't even skip through the commercials on these things sometimes on Hulu. Like I'm like, why is this? I paused it. Like, why can't I skip through the commercial break here? I paused it.
Of course, you can't skip through it.
Yeah.
It's not DVR.
Yeah, I just feel like
they're getting paid for those.
I do agree. There's a lot of waste out there that like there's stuff you don't need, and so like let's see how bundling works. If you can get stuff together and save some money. It helps everybody overall. You know, the companies get more subscriptions and we get to see more content. So
that's what you're getting content you don't care about. That's the thing that bothers me.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's the companies trying to get back to the cable model.
Well, I'm still, but wait a minute. No, I'm still Discovery Plus only subscription. I don't do HBO. I don't do the Max I don't do the Max. So I don't. Okay. They didn't get me on this bundle thing. Like you can.
I'm saying that's what they're doing. That's where they're moving. That's what this whole thing is talking about. Putting it all together.
I'm looking at it like, yes, there's an option to put it together, but you can still have the separate piecemeal if you just want like let's say you want Netflix and you don't want Paramount. You can still pay just for Netflix and not bundle in the Paramount.
It saves you
money.
Now, Jim.
I don't see it. I will say that I don't see it. I see it like giving you more.
I'm just saying, like it's slowly moving backwards. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, sure. I mean, they could do that, but at the end of the day, as long as consumers, you have the choice and the ability to a la carte things, that is still infinitely better than anything that cable did 10, 20 years
That's what we wanted. That's what I've always wanted. And that's what we were getting, and now we're starting to go the other direction. I'm just saying it's not.
Is it the other direction, or they're just adding that option for people that want that?
No, I'm saying that's what it starts though. That's where we're starting. It's like, well,
so you're
look at what we're getting with like the video game side of things. So we're gonna start taking away things that options from people. It's like the same thing's gonna start happening with these streaming services if they can't afford to work on their own. It's like, well,
so you're saying you're not gonna be able to get like Netflix alone or Paramount?
No, I'm not saying alone? I'm not talking about like possibly Paramount, possibly like Paramount, Universal, NBC, Peacock, whatever they want to call these things. Maybe those like we're not doing well. We got to team up. We're gonna have one bundle with you can get all these things, and you're not gonna be able to do it eventually. I'm not saying right away. I'm just saying eventually I could see those types of bigger broadcasting type networking streaming services working together because they can't afford to work on their own anymore. Netflix can. They are able to do that.
Yeah.
Yes. But I could see like HBO or some other thing getting bundled up because like it's already happening.
To be perfectly honest, I could see Apple buying one of these major companies anyway soon. Like that seems like more likely to me is one of these companies.
But I'm just saying that it's just leaning towards that a little too far for my liking. Right now it's fine because we have the options.
Yeah.
But I mean, the writing is on the wall, in my opinion.
I just say look at the pie in the sky and say like, let's say you could do Netflix and Max for $30 a month. Would you do it?
No.
No. Okay. I mean, I'm just saying like that would be something that might be worth a lot of people there.
No. I'm sure some people. Yeah. Sure. But the thing is, look, I've been saying like not all these streaming companies are going to be successful. That's just the nature of business. Not everybody's going to be successful, and we've seen the cracks already. I mean, even Disney Plus is being like, Disney like, well, we got to rein in those budgets and all the content guys. There's just way too much of it coming out. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Like, there's been nothing on this fucking platform for most of the year. What are you talking about?
Churro chimed in saying bundling discounts would sell me with everything getting bumped up.
Yeah.
Bundling commercial versions feels like cable.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
that's true. That's true.
We'll see what the market dictates, right? I mean, again, it's going to be the number crunchers that these fucking companies are going to be like, hey, if we go into the bundle at X amount, we take Y out of that pie, we'll be more profitable, and that's what we'll go with. But as long as I can still do the a la carte options for whatever I want, month to month,
and as long as that is possible, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with it. But I'm just saying, I feel like it's moving away from that is where they're going to start going. And that's what I'm worried about.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think we have to worry about it for another couple of years. 5 years.
Oh yeah. We're a ways off on this,
but I mean, who knows? Who knows what happens in 5 years? I mean, the thing is,
that's the next time we'll get new content anyway. So
yeah, exactly.
Well, I will say I will say that HBO and Discovery, that's not 5 years. We're talking 2. This company's fallen. Like it's just they need money, and they're gonna have to merge. Like that's the company I feel like is gonna get bought. Like it's gonna get bought by Apple or Amazon.
Apple's doing a fantastic job with new content and good content. So I'm very excited. And they're $7 a month.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna go up too at some point. As they draw you in more, it's just like a drug dealer. Like, oh, we got you hooked. Here we go. So, all right. Other news: we got Sam Raimi. Sources, according to
another rumor,
My Time to Shine, which is on Twitter, their account. They've leaked a lot of stuff. Sources confirmed that Sam Raimi is top choice to direct Secret Wars. Which, if you think about the vastness scale of what that's going to be, I think it works.
Yeah.
I actually don't like. Listen, I'm not a huge fan of Sam Raimi. I'm not. Like, obviously, I loved the Spider-Man 1 and 2 movies, but everything else from me was Evil Dead. Evil Dead 2 is good, I guess. Army of Darkness, I love that. But like, I'm not a huge fan of his stuff. But I think with his love and passion of superhero stuff, I think that he could do a good job with Secret Wars. I really do. I'm sorry. I just don't know why. I have this feeling. I don't know what it is. Can't back it up, but I got a feeling.
I don't like it personally. I'm not a fan of his style.
No,
for Avengers, I don't think it fits.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I just feel
I haven't really watched his stuff since the original Spider-Man trilogy. It's like the last thing I know of his.
I mean, just everything I hear though about Secret Wars, it's like.
I mean, Doctor Strange. I mean, did you
like
Doctor Strange?
Yeah.
I mean,
my Doctor Strange.
I didn't hate it. I didn't like it that much. It was a movie.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I don't know, but
forgot that was him. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot that was him as well. You're right. I mean, the way I read all this news about Deadpool 3 seemingly going to lead us into like Secret Wars, it's exciting, and then like you're dealing with a lot of the older style heroes like the Fox universe and the Spider-Man, the old Spider. So I feel like Sam Raimi can handle that part of it because you're not getting Bryan Singer. You know what I mean? Like it's nobody wants to. That guy's never working
he's still
again.
Canceled, right?
Yeah, he's canceled. Oh yeah, and deservedly so. So, but I just feel like I think it would be good. I don't know why. I just got this. I don't know what it is. I can't back it up. I just got a feeling. I think it would be really good. I'm kind of excited for it if that's the case. So I'm gonna be excited for it anyways. Who am I kidding? Like I'm gonna be excited for that.
Excited for it. I think he's not my top choice. That's all.
Yeah.
But I don't have another name for you either. So.
Yeah.
You don't like any no names anymore. I feel like that's the reoccurring theme with you, Corey. You just don't like people we know already.
Well, for actors playing specific characters, potentially, yeah.
Yeah. So that's
now for directors too.
No, I mean I'm fine with no-name directors.
Okay.
I don't know, but I do know. I did hear that Matt Smith.
Or named directors, I should say.
Yeah, Matt Smith turned down Reed Richards. I don't know if you reported that last week, but.
Oh God, who cares? I really don't care who the Fantastic Four are at this point.
So yeah, but now the top choice, I think. This is what's crazy. The top choice I've heard is Jake Gyllenhaal.
Mysterio.
I don't think that would. I just don't see it working. But we'll see where they land.
In the universe already as a different character.
Nobody's casting anybody right now, so it doesn't matter. Let's see where this ends up whenever
it comes back.
Yeah. So, all right. That's it for the news. We got nothing else yet for the Moviecast here. So, with the strike going on, we'll see. Thanks for tuning in, though, everybody. Once again, this is the Moviecast 664. We're live on Twitch Tuesday night starting at 8 o'clock. We're on YouTube the following day, so subscribe to both channels to get the latest and greatest. Gamecast is coming up, depending on when you watched it, or if you watched that first. I don't care. But watch one of them. We'll see you guys soon. We're out.